Hi guys, Midwest Outdoorsman here with another review. This time for some hunting boots. Um, this is the lacrosse alphaburly. I think they're sports in 1,000 gram thin slate. I like to think of boots, especially for hunting, as a system. Um, for one, I want a boot that I have for early season, and also for walking around more. And then I also want a boot that I can use that I can also walk around in comfortably, but that's a lot warmer for when it's super cold and also when I'm sitting. It's kind of my system that I've used and that I figured out over the years, and it works really good for me. My walking boots are, I previously reviewed the Danner Pronghorns, which are Gore-Tex, and they're waterproof and they're fantastic. They're a lighter boot. They're 400-gram thin slate, and those I can sit in all the way up through October usually, and they work really well for me. And I also can walk around with them even when it's really cold out. I can wear a sock liner and a heavy wool sock and walk around without my feet ever getting cold, and they're really comfortable to walk in. But if you're going to be going and sitting, for one, you want more warmth than that, which is great because these have 1,000 gram. And if you're going to be going through water, which we do go through a lot of marshes, especially in the wintertime, and if it's not frozen all the way or just the top layer of ice is frozen, you're going to be breaking through. My Danners aren't as high nearly as these, so that gives you a lot more protection from the water. And these rubber boots, I've owned a lot of different ones, and these ones are the best and most comfortable rubber boots that I've ever found in my life. They hold up really well. I've had it for about 5 years, and they're just awesome. The 1,000 grams I think is really good as far as they keep your feet warm. I can sit it, when it's really cold, I can sit with them, and they keep my feet warm. And also, I noticed with some other rubber boots that I've had, the soles on these are so much better. They're like a shoe where it's like glued onto the rubber boot itself. And some of the other ones I've had, they didn't have a really as good a sole as these. From standing on the bars on a tree stand or sitting, it really would, the pads of your foot or your toe, it would hurt over time. And these completely eliminated that. These really did a great job of fixing any problems I had with sitting in a tree stand and having my feet hurt. They contour to your foot really nicely. They hold up really well. I haven't had any leaks or anything, any splitting seams on them or nothing like that. And they just work great. They have more durable, thicker stuff in the front here. I don't know if you can see that on the camera here. You can see where there's lines here. This is like double, triple thick material right here, so it's even more protection for your foot. And then it has like more of a neoprene kind of type upper. It's not quite neoprene, I don't think. It's like a rubberized neoprene maybe. I'm not sure exactly, but it's a lot more flexible up here. You can squish that right down. It's not super hard, where this is more firm and gives you more protection. And also you have more strips alongside here on the back for protection, which is really nice. And the soles, you can see the bottom here. A nice sole. It's not super aggressive, but it's not, flat. Perfect for walking or sitting. Just a good all-around sole. Really comfortable. They have these nice. You can see you got space here, and you can lock it right down. You can cinch that up and lock it right down on your ankle, and this conforms right to your ankle. And I was worried at first about this maybe rubbing and giving me some blisters or being uncomfortable, and it's nice and soft, and it conforms to your leg, and I haven't had any problems whatsoever. These just been fantastic, the best rubber boots that I've ever found, and they've been holding up great, and I got nothing bad to say about them. I know that there's some other brands out there that are good too. Some people like Muck boots, or there's a bunch of different great ones, Irish setters. But a lot of them don't come in bigger sizes, and that's another thing. If you're someone that has a big foot like me, I have size 15s. This is a great company because these will go up all the way to at least 15s, because these are 15s, but I think they go up to 16s or 17s even. So if you're someone that has a big foot, I'd say right here, these are the boots for you. There's not a lot of choices usually out there, especially that have this kind of comfort. And if you don't just want to take my word for it, you can go on Cabela's.com and check out the reviews for these boots. I mean, they're stellar. Everyone, it seems to has had the same experience that I have when someone makes a good product. It's good and it does its job, and it's nice when you pay money for something that actually works. They're not super cheap. I paid about 150 to 180 bucks depending on what model you get, because they have the uninsulated ones, and then they have, I think, 4 800, then they have 1,000, they might have 1,200, and then they have, I think, a 1,500. And that kind of changes from time to time what sizes and what grams or whatever they have for Thinsulate, so you might want to check on that, at any given time. I got these couple, like I said, 5 or 6 years ago. And another consideration is, as far as the sizing goes, like I said, I have a big foot, I have a size 15, and in these 1,000-gram Thinsulate, I have a little bit of room, and it's perfect. But I also have a pair of uninsulated ones of these. They're exactly the same, only they're uninsulated that I ordered, and they are actually too big for me because the cushioning and the padding or whatever, the Thinsulate around here, helps to snug it up on your foot a little bit. So if I were you, let's say you have a size 15 like me, if you're going to get an uninsulated version, because some people like that, including myself, where let's say you're going to go plant food plots or something in the summertime, or you're going to be around mud or for catfishing or whatever, where you're going to be around water, but you obviously don't want 1,000-gram Thinsulate in the middle of the summer. So if you wanted a pair of nice comfortable boots, get the same ones of these and get them in the uninsulated version, and I would get a size smaller. And if they don't fit or whatever, Cabela's is always great. That's where I got mine. They'll take them back and exchange them and whatnot. But I would recommend getting a size smaller if you get the uninsulated version. Otherwise, get your regular size if you get up into the bigger ones. And then even if you get up into the really high, like the 1,500 plus, maybe the 2,000, you might almost want to order it a size larger than you normally would, because then again you got so much Thinsulate up in here that it's going to be not as much space for your foot, and you want that little bit of airspace, especially if you're going to be wearing like a heavy wool sock or something in the winter, and then that airspace is what helps keep your foot warm. So I would recommend, if you're going to get anywhere from the 2 to 800-gram Thinsulate, get the exact size that you need. If you get the uninsulated ones, try a size smaller first to see if that doesn't fit you better. And then if you get the big, the 1,500 to 2,000-gram Thinsulates, I would recommend going maybe a size or a half size. I don't know if they have half sizes in this boot, I'm not sure. But I would recommend going a half size or a size larger, especially to accommodate like a heavier sock that you're going to be wearing when it's cold out. So yeah, those are just fantastic boots. I haven't had any problems with them. They're really, really super comfortable. They've been durable. I've walked in these boots doing drives and stuff for miles and miles and miles. I've never gotten one blister. Thank God. I've gone through so many boots where I've gotten blisters and stuff, and it's, I'm sure a lot of you guys know it's horrible. These boots, I've never gotten one blister from them ever. Same with my Danner pronghorns that I got walking, just doing miles and miles of hiking, walking up and down, steep embankments, whatever you want to do as far as the terrain. I've never had a problem with any of them. Never had to tape my feet or put moleskin on my foot or anything like that. They've just been great. So yeah, get yourself a pair, and as always, if you got another pair of boots you think is better or that you like even as much as these, go ahead and leave some comments to give some people some choices. These are just my experiences of the stuff that I've been searching for all my life, and these are what I found that works for me, so this is what I'm sticking with. But as always, be respectful of other people, and I'll be respectful of you. This is just my opinions on stuff. So I hope you enjoyed this, and it gives you a little bit more of information. Also, I forgot to mention, the inside of these is fleece lined, which is really nice. I don't know if you can see, it's kind of dark in there, obviously. But it's fleece lined, so it's really nice and soft all the way in there. And they do have a nylon shank in here as well, especially when you're on a tree stand or something, or climbing up pegs and that kind of thing. That helps. And it's not steel, so it doesn't suck the heat out of your foot. So yeah, that's my review for the lacrosse alphaburly boots, and I think they're great. So I hope this helps.